Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Dr. Nick, and today we're going to talk about the 25th anniversary of Super Nintendo. Now, I am super excited about doing this video. I have been waiting to do it. The Super Nintendo. This came out in 1991 in North America. This was, of course, Nintendo's rival against the Sega Genesis. You can definitely tell it's very different. They moved to the gray and purple as opposed to the gray and black. It is a top loader. You got the power and the reset here. Got the hookups in the back. Basically the same type of setup. Nothing really different. Here's some of the games. This game was actually a pack-in with the system. Super Mario World. This game is awesome. So much fun. Donkey Kong Country. This game was actually a very late release in 1994. This game sold so many copies. These had 3D graphics on a 16-bit system. Fantastic. There's 3 of these games. Very good game. Very complicated. Wouldn't really say complicated, it's challenging. But this game alone pretty much solidified the power that Super Nintendo had over the Sega Genesis. The Genesis, up until that point, was known as a more cooler, adult, edgy system. Had a lot of edgy games like Mortal Kombat, with the blood graphics. There was a lot of games that Super Nintendo did not have. They did eventually, of course they had the Street Fighter series. And of course these 2 games are awesome. I have them on Genesis 2, NBA Jam, and NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Boom shakalaka. Yeah, baby. These games are awesome. Very simplified, very good though, entertaining. The Super Nintendo was a huge advancement. Huge. So many good memories, so many good games. The company sold so many copies of games. They had games like Link to the Past, Zelda, Super Punch-Out was pretty good, Secret of Mana, Earthbound, a lot of very expensive games. Super Nintendo is a very expensive console to collect for. Why, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's just because people who grew up with it in my generation are starting to buy back a lot of the games. So maybe that's it. They had a lot of good Mega Man games, the Mega Man X series. Those were very good. Then you had some not so good games. You had F-Zero, the Chopper games, the Desert Strike, Urban Strike, and Jungle Strike. Those were really good games. Mega Man Soccer. Super Mario RPG, which is actually a pretty pricey game. Very good game. Trying to think of some other good games on the system. I remember getting the Super Nintendo, and one of the first games that I played was, of course, Super Mario World. Very, like I said, it'll be in my top 5 of Super Nintendo games of all time. Just always will be. It's just, I don't know, it's such a fun game. Very challenging. I believe my uncle Chuck actually had the Super Nintendo before we did, and I remember him playing this game. He found all the different secrets and doors, the keys. I mean, he completely beat the game in a couple weeks, I believe. But it was always one of his favorite games too. I'm not really sure if it was him that got me into video games, or I just kind of got into it myself. But he had a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, all the Zelda games, Gauntlet on NES. It's hard to believe that it's been 25 years that the Super Nintendo debuted in North America. It's crazy. I'm 31. It makes me feel really old. I still have my original system, the one I just showed you. This is the original system that my brother and I received. It's still in great condition. No yellowing. Still works. Put a game in it, fire it up, and you're ready to go. This is actually, I think it was the first edition because it does not, I don't know if it's the first or second, but it does not have that little piece that when you press the power button that you can't open it. It's got a little piece that holds it shut. But it's awesome. What else can I say about a fantastic system? It started the console wars between Nintendo and Sega, and it definitely paved the way for different types of games. One of my favorite games was also Sunset Riders. Pretty pricey game. It was also on Genesis, but the Super Nintendo version was very different. It actually had 2 more characters as opposed to the other one, and it just seemed like the controls of the game were a lot smoother on the Super Nintendo version. Another good one was Tin Star, which was also a Western type game. Basically used like a cursor to shoot the gun. It was a lot of fun. As you know, back in the day, you couldn't just go into a game store, pick the game off the shelf. You had to actually go to the counter with, you had to ask them to get out of the glass case, or if you went to Toys R Us, or the place that I went to before let's see, what was it? I can't remember the name of it. Why can't I not remember that? But basically what you would do is you would take the ticket off the wall of the specific game that you wanted, you take it up to the counter, they'd get the game, and you'd pay for it. But things have changed big time. For all you collectors out there, it's crazy to think that the system's been out for 25 years. I can't imagine gaming without it. I mean, I love the Super Nintendo, I love the NES, the Genesis. The 64 I never really got into that much. When the 64 came out, I was playing PlayStation. I will always be a huge gamer when it comes to that kind of stuff. But like this video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you all later.